Flock up or flock off, not you stick around, because it's about to go down. What we got for your flock pots today. All of that and then some, you know what I mean? What's today? You know what today is? Eagle Maniac Monday. Let's get back in here. We got the energy flowing again, y'all. I'm feeling back. I'm feeling a little bit back to this. I think I'm finally, what? No, I'm not going to say I did. Mrs. Maniac finally cleaned up since not cleaned up everything, but you know, the nest. Because I didn't touch anything since the Super Bowl, bro. Still going through it. But we back here. The energy's back. You know what I'm saying? So let's go get into all this, what we got for your flock pots today. Wait. Before we go any further, you know how I like to do around this time, about this time, at this time. Please like and subscribe. If you bought that Fly Eagles fly, drop a comment in the box if you're flying with the flock. Let's fly. And do remember, join the Maniac thing. Know the gang. You hit that bell, you get a bing. Whenever I'm on this YouTube thing, it's takeoff time. Yeah. We back in here, man. So many things have happened since last we got into this. You know what I mean? I was thinking like, boom, since last Maniac Monday, since last Eagle Maniac Monday, I'm like, yo, we hopping right back in. We doing this, gonna get this thing going. You know, I said, let me chill. I'm still sitting down, y'all. Still sitting down. You know what? Let's put together, let's get all this in the flock pots, because that's what we do. You know what I mean? We chop it up. We break it down, put it on the table, throw it in our flock pots, and then we get this thing going. So basically what I'm doing is basically preparing like Sunday dinner for the flock. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get it all in one instead of having these quick maniac microwave, you know what I'm saying, additions. And let's just try and do, you know, at the end of the day, I'm a maniac. I'm the maniac. I'm the Eagle Maniac. I don't know what the hell I'm doing next, how this thing is spinning. This is getting the mess off my nest and off my chest and all of that. So, anything can happen. But this is what I've decided, how I've decided to traverse the terrain of losing the Super Bowl in the offseason in the interim for the time being, because as you know, this thing is always fluid, ever-changing. I can flip the whole script tomorrow. Whatever the case may be, enough about me. Let's get into what we came here for, our EAGLES Eagles. What we got for the flock pots today. We're going to get into a little bit of Brian Johnson as the new DC, Sean decides. No, Brian Johnson is the new OC, Sean decides the new DC. A little bit of this Jalen Carter Warren. I wanted to drop that lower. I'm slipping up already. CJGJ franchise tag. Denard Wilson, let go. Yeah, you can already tell how I feel about that. ESPN draft projections for the Eagles. Got some, we're going to break down the organizational MO, you know, our modus operandi, how we see us going forward, and my adoption of those policies. And yeah, that's what we got for you today. Let's go for this flock pot thing, you know what I mean? And as usual, let's keep the main thing, the main thing. The Maniac thing was the Maniac thing. Let's keep the main thing, the main thing. You know, I hope this video finds you with good vibes and good tides. If you're not there, I hope this helps you get there, because we about to go there. Oh yeah, let's go. So Brian Johnson as the new OC, we always knew, at least most of us in the Eagleverse kind of felt that was going to happen. We felt that was going to go down. I'm so happy for this decision to keep stability on the offensive side, keep stability with Jalen Hurts, which is just paramount to anything and everything. This is how we proceed. This is how we achieve. This is how we succeed going forward, by keeping a little bit of stability on the offensive side. And there's not much to say about Brian Johnson, but yes, let's go. Nothing but good things throughout the NFL. I mean, and the question was arising, why do you think it took so long? This is what everyone's asking. It took too long, and it should have been made. The decision should have been made as soon as Shane Steichen left and da-da-da. What a lot of people aren't taking into account is that perhaps Mr. Brian Johnson had other offers on the table that he wanted to figure out what he wanted to do and where he wanted to go, and ultimately chose the best place, as we all know, the Philadelphia Football Eagles. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so you could push all that aside, brush all that aside, at least in my opinion. You know, there may have been other things going down, but I just think, like, relax. These things, you know, not so much take time, because there's certain things that you know what it is. Similarly enough, like Jalen Hurts' contract. We need to get that thing going. But you know what? We're going to drop that down the bottom. We're going to try and get into a little bit of that later. So, yeah, big news, great news. Give it up for our new offensive coordinator, Brian Johnson. And now, going into the defensive coordinator, Sean Desai. Very much, I don't know much about him. But like I said, I don't know if I spoke on it last week, but I was speaking with Gordo Flacco. Just like, you know, he's from the Fangio coaching tree. Pretty much coaches a little bit. He has similarities with Jonathan Gannon, who I believe is also from the Vic Fangio coaching tree. So, you know, so we're pretty much going to see the same. So therein lies the stability aspect of it that I can ride with. Another thing, he was defensive assistant coordinator, whatever, some type of assistant coach last year for the Seattle Seahawks, working under Carroll. I can't see any negatives coming from working under Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's a great defensive coach. He's led the Seahawks to multiple Super Bowl appearances. And for all intents and purposes, all I'm hearing is good things about this guy, Sean Desai. He's an up-and-comer. He's a high riser. So hopefully he comes in here and does, what he's supposed to do. And I mean, I hate to say, anything is better than Gannon last year because we know that's not the truth. That would be an emotional response. What we did last year was great, amazing, 70-plus sacks in regular season, third all-time NFL history. These things cannot be made up. This is real. This is in stone. This is what happened, people. I know a lot of us were very mad about what happened in the Super Bowl. I mean, then even in the numbers in the Super Bowl, you're looking at, I believe I saw because clearly my boy Darius Slade thinks that they played an amazing game in the Super Bowl. Who am I to say otherwise? There was a lot of things going on. All we know is that we lost, so of course we're upset. And the most I can say, I disagree. Disagree is a strong word. It's just like I question that opinion by our boy Darius Slade. Yeah. I mean, our time of possession was crazy. They barely had the damn ball. So, that being said, enough of the Super Bowl CM movies. You can't help it. As much as I try to get out, it pulls me back in, y'all. We're going to get through this, man. We're going to get through this. New season to come, right? So, you got Sean Desai coming in, working under Pete Carroll. He finished the Chicago Bears finished off well. I'm hearing opposing arguments as far as that. I believe it was the 21 Chicago Bears and what he did for them and how they did it. I mean, what I saw with my eyes just looking up, of course, we're not doing deep dive, super research. I ain't got what Kansas City got. That guy's good. Check him out. Damn, I ain't even checked him this week. Anyway, so boom. We're not taking that deep of a dive into it, but just what I saw with my eyes, the last few games in the season, they got better according to Pro Football Focus. And he didn't have as much talent as these Eagles have, even when taking into account how many players we may lose in free agency this year. I still think we'll be a more talented group than what he had with Chicago that year. So these are the things that I believe bode well for us going forward, this defensive coordinator choice. Don't know much about him, but what I do know about him, I like so far. Plus, you know me, I look at the world through eagle-colored glasses. I'm riding with the team no matter what, until they give me reason to do otherwise. You know what I'm saying? We've all been there. But things are going good, and let's keep the good things going. I don't want to put none of that negative juju. This guy, yeah. So the reason is I'm a bit upset about the defensive coordinator hire is Denard Wilson. I don't know if you guys know, if you ever seen any of this, have you ever flocked up with us, got down in here with us? You know I'm a big Denard Wilson guy. I loved him during his pressers and his interviews and all that. I loved his energy. He always came across articulate, intelligent, like he knew what he was doing, said what he was saying when he was saying what he was saying. And it was not to mention the players in his corner, CJ gives him credit for helping him make the seamless transition from slot corner to safety. Darius Slade, as we know, has been well documented, saying that he believes he deserves a job in the NFL. Then you think about the development of guys like Blankenship, and I believe our boy Marcus Epps also gives him credit for helping him develop into a starting safety in the league. So, he just has so many good things. Not to mention, when I found out that he left, a lot of things were coming out that, he came from the Greg Williams coaching tree, the Ty Bowles coaching tree. And I'm like, bro, these are what? That could have been our next DC. This is what we do. Like, let's keep this pressure going. It's because, those are pressure-oriented defenses that those guys run, Greg Williams and Ty Bowles. And, you could look at it like Greg Williams, I believe, has a Super Bowl in his belt, and we know Ty Bowles has a Super Bowl under his belt. Like, they may not be great head coaches, but as far as defensive coordinators go, these guys are top of the tops. And you're telling me that Denard Wilson comes from that tree, and we let that go, we let that out of our building? It's upsetting because, us as Eagle fans, that's what we want. We want that pressure. We want that Jim Johnson. We want that Buddy Ryan. But as I've said here numerous occasions, we already know what we know, and it's real and it's facts. All of that pressure that we ever got from those guys, we never got a Super Bowl. So, yeah. So, I'm leaning towards rocking with what my organization does, leaning towards what Philadelphia Eagles as an organization does as far as their development of on the defensive side of the ball. Not so much development, but philosophy. The defensive philosophies as far as defense goes. We've seen that pressure style work for other teams. It hasn't worked for us. I mean, even when you think about the Super Bowl that we did win, we won it with Schwartz, And him playing that sticks defense, pretty much damn near the same thing that Jonathan Gannon does, which got us into another Super Bowl. So, that being said, as upset as I am about Denard Wilson leaving, great dude, great coach, we're going to ride with the team on this. Let me give you a few reasons why, if that didn't tell you enough. We never won a Super Bowl with all those pressure defenses and all that. Another thing. So, I was going to get into organizational modus operandi and the way we move. Basically, organizational philosophy. This is what I believe, so we're hopping right into that. We're going to skip a few lines up above, but this does tie into when it comes into speaking of the defensive coordinator acquisition. So you've got I'm starting to see it the way they see it. At least I think this is what the Eagles may be thinking in terms of adopting their defensive philosophy. You've got a team that, say for instance, we play sticks. You play a bit of a passive defense. Bend, don't break. You know what I mean? Not too many. You have your rules and you stick to your rules, and this is what you do because when you think about it, say for instance, similarly to what's going on right now, think of the amount of free agents that we may lose on the defensive side this season. Now, imagine you're losing to CJ, GJ, and Bradbury. These are Pro Bowl players, right? You'll agree with that, at least a little bit. High caliber defensive players, right? On the back end, which is these guys' expertise. Guys like, even though Denard Wilson, he plays it from the back front also, similar to Jonathan Gannon, which I believe this guy Desai does also. When I say back to front, you're talking about teams with the philosophy of they most of their acumen lies in the backfield, the defensive backs, if you will. So they're gonna play the defensive front back. We get the protections right. You let these dogs up front go hunt, right? So now you got that. Now when you're replacing guys like Bradbury and CJ, if indeed this is what we need to do going forward, you're going to come in with guys probably of a lesser caliber. You're going to have to develop them a little bit better. It's a lot easier, at least I'm guessing, to bring guys into a bend, don't break system as opposed to putting them on islands and having them play Darrelle Revis back there, the Darius Slays of the world. When you could put them into a system and then boom, you've got interchangeable parts and you keep this thing going forward. And this is what a GM wants to do. He's not just, as much as we're fully invested into the season at hand and we want to win the Super Bowl that year, these GMs, they're thinking about the next game, the next season, the next 5 seasons down the road. They want to keep a good thing going. They want this thing to be great organizationally, full body, all across the board. Everything working, a fine-tuned machine. So boom, another piece goes out, we put another piece in. And I'm starting to believe and understand why we do what we do when we do what we do. And I can wholeheartedly, fully adopt that philosophy. I know we want to see the flashy players, the big interceptions, the sacks. I mean, all of this lends itself towards winning, of course. But if we could keep somewhat of a culture, somewhat of a not so much a blueprint and outline, a core of great players. Say you get great defensive line. We stay stacked up the middle. We stay stacked on the front lines, right? You get a solid linebacker, definitely middle linebacker up the middle. Safety, see, that's why it's rough, man. Because you want this all to work right. I mean, we've seen it. Okay, how about this? And I hate doing this because we just lost to him, but it seems to be the trendy thing to do right now. Everyone's comparing like what KC did, but for argument's sake, I will do the same thing. And this feels weak, corny, and lazy, but whatever the case may be, you look at those Chiefs and what they had back there. They had a bunch of rookies. One star and Chris Jones. Well, we can't knock the other dude, the deep Frank Clark, right? Yeah, he's a beast too. He was putting that pressure on there, you know what I mean? But can we still call him a star? Who they have in the backfield? They got rid of the Badger and went to the Super Bowl. They got rid of the Honey Badger and went to no. They got rid of the Honey Badger and won the Super Bowl. Nothing but a bunch of rookies in that backfield, and then just oppression. Unbeknownst to a lot of people out there, they were number 2 in sacks behind us with 55. So, they know how to put that pressure on, especially with a defensive coordinator like Spagnuolo. But that's where the differences dissipate. That's where that's where the likenesses, the similarities go out to pasture, right? Because they have a dude in Spagnuolo that's going to send that pressure all damn game and just come after your head all game. which doesn't seem to be the case with the defensive coordinators that we pull in. But regardless of what, I am in with the Eagles. I'm with their philosophy. I doubt if indeed this is their philosophy. It seems to be, you know what I mean? Interchangeable parts. You just keep putting pieces in, and that allows your team to be good, great, or good for the long run. And, that's all we want is greatness from these Philadelphia Eagles. So if they can keep that going, I mean, just when you look around the league as a whole, like, there's so many calls against these defensive sides. Like, it's almost foolhardy to invest so much into that side of the ball when you could go out there and play your ass off and the rest could come in on the last play of a damn game and snatch it from you. And but all jokes aside, I believe that call had the no call, I believe, what was it, a few years ago, the Rams versus Saints in a playoff game. I believe it was an NFC Championship game when the Rams went and played the Patriots in the Super Bowl. What was that, 1920, whatever the case may be. I believe them calling and being so tight at the end of the game, that play had a lot to do with what happened against us this game versus the Chiefs. So, I mean, it is what it is. This is the way, the league is going to try to police itself, correct itself, self-correct and all that. But, yeah, it still hurts, and I still keep talking about this damn game. But organizationally, as the Eagles traverse going forward, I'm with whatever they do, man. Like, we got dudes like Howie up there, great owner, and Jeff Steban, Laurie, and my boy Hal E. busting the stupid dope moves, Howie Potter waving that magic wand. So whatever they do, I'm with it. And I mean, I want to get, so I'll get right into it. So as far as that goes, yeah, we're gonna be all over the place, man. I'm trying to keep a little structure with this Maniac over here. Getting me bouncing over white walls over here. Open your eagle eye, there it is. Raise your eagle eyebrows to this. You feel me? So that's what I see on the offensive side. No, the defensive side as far as what they want to do organizationally. And decide coming in, pick them up. Can't be mad at him till he makes me mad. You know what I'm saying? So, and I've heard nothing but good things about him. So that's what it is going forward. Gonna miss Denard Wilson. Who's gonna come in after him? I mean, like, and that's another thing. Just so everyone's like, hey, get him out of here. Get Jonathan Gannon out of here. Getting Jonathan Gannon up out of here has already lost us. Nick Rallis, our linebacker coach, natural transition from a linebacker coach would be defensive coordinator, but he snatched him up quick and put the kibosh on that. Next man up, Denard Wilson. I don't know. Philosophically, I guess, maybe the organization and him couldn't see eye to eye. It sucks, but he's out of here. So now 3 coaches going on the defensive side. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, you know what? Want a full overhaul on that defensive side of the ball anyway. Get them all up out of here. They lost it. And to that, I can kind of agree with you if that's your mind state, if that's what you're thinking. But I'm a big proponent of stability and what it means. As far as an organization, we saw how much better the team got from year 1 to year 2. And where does that come from, y'all? That comes from stability. So we're going to have a lot of guys coming in, learning a whole lot of new things under a new defensive coordinator, which can also have another domino effect that leans into free agency where guys are like, well, my boy Denard's going, my boy Gannon's going, my boy Nick Rallis is going. What am I sticking around for? Let me get up out of here, go get some more cash. It's not like you're not going to feel that same sense of, I want to go back for the hometown discount. Still got my guys in that room. I like this. It's like there's a whole lot of unknown, basically, for lack of a better term, going forward for a lot of guys on the defensive side, especially the free agents who may be like, who may have not have chased the bag prior to, but now you'll have to learn a whole new defense, this, that, and the third. It's like, yeah, y'all could get some new guys to learn this new system that y'all got over there. So I mean, it's just the way I see it. So losing to DC, a linebacker coach, and a defensive back coach, it could just could mean a lot of good things too. You know what I mean? So yeah, so what am I talking about? I'm Mr. Positive Energy over here, right? So yeah, let's put that out there. You know what? We were all looking at that defense, a little side eye, raising our eagle eyebrows, like what the flock is going on over there all season anyway. So maybe this maybe is a blessing in disguise, Get new system, new guys, new things, and let's go. Eagles going forward, right? So that's how I see it on the defensive side, organizational philosophy and all that. And we'll get into the offensive side in a second because a few more things I wanted to touch on. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna save the Jalen Carter thing for later. CJ franchise tag. I mean, that's easy. I don't even think there's nothing much to go into with that as far as yeah, it is a lot. Not to mention CJ. I just found this out today. This happened 3 days ago. He said he actually has something to say about Gannon, and he wasn't putting him in positions to achieve. Like, Yeah, CJGJ, he probably knocked a few million off of his contract money, saying stuff like, well, a few teams may have, looked at that like, oh, this guy, he's good when things are going good. He's not with it when things are going south, but just a young kid talking with his heart, playing with his heart. And I don't, you know what? That's just me being a little bitter. You know what I'm saying about at the prospect of him going, because I really believe he was a big part of that defensive ball. He's young. He's got heart. You know what I mean? He can become the new leader of that defensive side of that defensive locker room. Yeah. So now I'm thinking with my heart. You know what I mean? Now I'm using my heart as far as that decision goes. I'm leaning towards keep. You want to keep a guy like that. He's a glue guy. The locker room loves him. The coaches loves him. The management loves him. Everyone loves this guy across the board. You know what I mean? And Gannon's out of here, so who cares? You know what I mean? If Gannon was still in this locker room, be like, oh no, that could cause some things. I don't know. Coach got to go. CJGJ got to go. So the coach is gone. So I don't even got to think about that. So CJGJ, franchise tag. Now that's the thing that I'm hearing all over the Eagleverse. That's what everyone's talking about. I cannot see that happening in any way, shape, or form. The Eagles haven't giving the guy a franchise tag since I believe 2012 with Deshaun Jackson. So I just can't see that. No, can't see that going down. We don't do that philosophically. It's just not what we do. Not to mention, I also believe I've written this in a comment, somebody's comment board, something I was watching. They were bringing up some franchise tag thing, and it's like isn't that part of the reason why CJGJ wanted up out of New Orleans? Like they were trying to franchise him, he didn't like that, so he caused a ruckus and wanted to get up out of there. So I mean, it's not good for the locker room. It leaves a bad taste in the player's mouth. It leaves a bad taste in the locker room. It's just not something we do. But in the event we do it, I'm all for it, because I believe that franchise money doesn't count. I'm not like a capologist, but to the best of my knowledge, that the franchise tag money doesn't count against the cap. And to keep a guy like that in the locker room just to test the waters a little bit more, maybe with the intent, a good conversation between him and Howie going forward. Who knows? Things could be different. Maybe they talk different down there. And, Howie Roseman has a better bedside manner. Hey, get over here. I'm Howie busting the stupid dope moves, waving my magic wand. Whoa. And the bedside? Nah, chill, pause. You're going too far. But you get what I'm saying. Hopefully, I would love to retain that guy, but only for the right price. Like, there's so much that has to be done. Not has to be done, but there are other things that I would rather keep. I mean, like I just said, you see a team like the Chiefs let go of the Honey Badger, bro. That leaves you money to spend across the board on other things. Is a safety? Seriously, is a safety a championship piece? When was the last time you was like, oh, they had it? Oh, well, you know what? That was the Seahawks with Pete Carroll, where Sean Desai just came from. But he wasn't there for that Super Bowl, though. I'm just saying, so, when you think about it, those guys were 5th rounders, that Seattle drafted. When you think about guys like, what was their names? Cam and, oh, man, I forget these guys. Guys that we could have had, too. Damn it, man. Time flies, bro. What was that, like 14, 15? Legion of Boom. So anyway, regardless of what, the point being is that these were safeties and free safeties picked in like the late rounds of the draft. You know what I mean? Cam Chancellor, right? And the other guy. We're going to get it. It doesn't matter, because it's not the point of getting these names. It's getting the point of what they did and how they did it. They weren't signing any of these guys the crazy money, you know what I mean, to get their championships. But those are probably the last safeties you saw in the Super Bowl. Was like, oh, they made it. Oh, I'm lying, because you had Honey Badger in there. Regardless of what, I just don't believe it's the piece that's going to be the cherry on that. No, it could be a cherry on top, but I don't think it's going to be the sundae. It's not going to be the milkshake. It's not going to be a whole shebang. It's not going to be the thing that gets you to the. It's going to win the Super Bowl for you. All these things come together, so it's hard to say things like this. But like I said, for the right price. And you got guys like, and I know a lot of people are going to get mad at this, you got guys like Reed Blankenship and Marcus Epps coming up the lines, coming up the ranks, and cost a lot less. Marcus Epps may cost a little bit of money this year. But not to mention, there's a whole lot of guys out there right now that probably want to come play with us. The guys that want to come play with Jalen Hurts, you know what I'm saying? They see the guy, they see that leadership that he has, like, oh, yeah, I could get behind that. I could get behind this move. A guy that's going to work harder than anybody in the damn building. Oh, yeah, that's what you want to see out of your leader, and that's something that you could go follow. That's what I heard on Patrick Peterson even saying something about actually, I didn't hear him. I just saw it on a caption on somebody's video. It could have been one of those clickbait joints, you know what I'm saying? And then he said nothing of the like. But if he did, would it even matter? You guys want Patrick? I put Patrick Peterson on the other side of Slate. You know what I'm saying? He still got a little bit in the tank. I will not down talk my guy Bradbury. See what y'all tried to do to me and got me talking trash, man. Get out of here. So yeah, CJGJ franchise tag, boom, bang, pow. I just don't think the Eagles are gonna do it. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Denard Wilson already got into that. ESPN draft projections for the Eagles, with at least for the first round. They got us picking Skoronski as offensive tackle out of Northwestern, I believe. And the defensive tackle Canty, I believe he's from Pittsburgh. So yeah, they pretty much stand tried and true to what they believe the Eagles doing. I mean, I believe the same thing. We like to build our team from the inside out, build it in the trenches. And, initially, I'm upset. It's like because you want all these flashy names. You want the Devin Witherspoons. You want the Bijan Robinsons. You want the Addisons. You know what I mean? All of these guys, like, so good. They're great arm candy, if you will. Pause. But you get what I'm saying? Like these things, they all look good. It's window dressing, things of that sort. You got to build in these trenches, and we're going to have to reinforce these trenches in the event some of these guys leave. The guys like Hargraves leave. Guys like Cox go. Guys like Kelsey leaving. You know what I mean? So these things are all possibilities, and why we want to sit here and poo it and wish it away and say, nope, these guys will come back. Even Brandon Graham may go. You know what I mean? So in the trenches is where it's at. You build up front. It's a great philosophy for us, especially in the event that some of these guys go. So I don't know much. Like I said, I'm not. There's a lot of things the Eagle Maniac is not. But you know what I am? I love these. I'm an Eagle Maniac. I love my flocking Eagles. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna look a little bit into things. But Skoronski, I believe he has a great lineage. He comes from great football stock. He's got his. I believe his dad was a great offensive lineman for the Packers. Then this kid Canty, he's sort of a hybrid. I mean, when I saw him and saw a little bit of a highlight reel on him, he's fast, he's quick, he gets back there. But defensive tackle, well, I believe in the size scheme, which I believe, they say the 3-4, and I know I forget his name. On the road to victory, that dude will go crazy if you ever heard me over here. We're going to play a 3-4. Then we're going to be multiple. We're going to do everything. Yeah, because that guy gets hyped up. I love it. Ooh, man. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. I like that dude's energy, man. Yeah, me and him, that would be crazy. Anyway, so boom. Dude from On the Road to Victory, he'll tell you that, these guys come through multiple now. They're running 3-4s, 4-3s, 5-man fronts, and all kinds of things out here. You know what I mean? But I believe the base defense will be a 3-4, and a guy like Canty, I guess, would fit that philosophy as far as a defensive tackle. Usually when I think of defensive tackle, I'm thinking guys like Jordan Davis, Javon Hargrave, Fletcher Cox. This guy looked a little streamlined, but who knows? Things could be crazy. You're seeing a lot of it happening more often in the NFL now. You're having pass rushers coming up the middle. You got guys like Javon Hargrave getting into double-digit sacks. I believe there was a guy in San Francisco, I forget his name, double-digit sacks coming up the middle. And we've seen Aaron Donald do it for years. That dude right there could be solely responsible for changing the game, basically. You know what I mean? Trendsetter, like this pass rush up the middle is becoming a thing. So Canty, he looked fast, he looked quick, didn't look too big, but whatever. These are just early ESPN projections of a little special that they had on ESPN about draft projections, where they think guys are going. And we got until April 29th. So a lot of things could happen between now and then. So that being said, with Skoronski and refilling the ranks in the trenches and picking up guys like that, we could lean into the offensive side and how I see this team philosophically sees building a team. So and that with the way we build our team, I'm thinking the biggest signing in my opinion, the guy that I want to retain more than anyone else, his cap number, I believe, will be reasonable as far as, what offensive linemen take and how much it will take from our cap. You know what I'm going to say. Isaac Seumalo. I believe, is the number one priority for this offensive team, especially if we're going to re-sign Jalen Hurts. Like, I can't even believe, like I'm saying if before that word. When we sign Jalen Hurts to this mega contract that he's going to get, upwards of probably $50 million a year, unless, of course, him and his agent finagle the bagel for something where they want to keep the team, they want to keep it cap friendly and keep the team being able to build around superstar, because you're only as good as your tools, right? You know what I mean? But you, as a running quarterback, you got to go out there and get your bag. So I have mixed feelings on this. I want Jalen Hurts to take a team friendly deal, but I also want Jalen Hurts because you got to love this dude as a man, as a person, like just what he stands for and what he does, So you want that dude to be well off for life. I mean, but then again, anyway, I want to get into it. Whatever he wants, Give it to him. Back that truck up and come to a smart decision organizationally, right? But if you're gonna sign that, if you're gonna put that Ferrari, if you're gonna put that Ferrari in the garage, right? You're not gonna build your garage with paper mache. You're not gonna build it with straw. You're gonna need some bricks out there, and not just regular bricks. I don't know what fancy bricks are. I'm talking about Italian, custom-made, homemade bricks. I'm talking about those African built hard, like you can't break through this type. I don't know why. I don't even know if Africa have bricks. Oh, I'm talking about Italians. I gotta bring up Africans, bro. Yeah, I'm just saying, you're gonna want to protect this investment, basically. All jokes aside. So you do that by keeping a guy like Isaac Seumalo, who I think, like I said, how getting rid of Gannon and letting Rallis go, and then just the domino effect that could have, and then how that could trickle down into free agents wanting to stay with this team and all that. It all depends on how Desai comes in. This thing could have the same trickle down effect. Like you get rid of a guy like Seumalo, who's great. He's a great glue guy. Everybody on the offensive line loves him. He's Stout's guy. Stout loves him. Everyone touts his intelligence, how smart he is, how he just knows what to do and to do what to do. He can play 5 different positions on that offensive line. You can throw this dude at center tackle, left tackle, right tackle, anywhere across the line. Isaac Seumalo is, to me, the #1 priority for the Philadelphia Football Eagles in 2023. I said it, bro. Like when you think about it, and then you think about protection for your quarterback, for your investment, protection for your investment. So you get rid of him, you let him go. You can see guys like, who's our boy? Jason Kelsey. Jason Kelsey may get up out of here. If Isaac Seumalo gets out of here, he's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I got to get a new battery made down there. I mean, just things, it's not probable, but it's possible, you know what I mean? Because he did pick up Cam Jurgens. You put Cam Jurgens in Seumalo's spot for a year. He's working side by side with Kelsey for a whole season. That could be crazy and make it easier, more seamless transition for him to become center, right? So, yeah, I'm just, throwing things out there. I'm just saying, to me, Isaac Seumalo, I believe, is the #1 priority. Yeah, after getting so worked up over that, right? After getting so worked up over that, then I think about it, that lends us back to the organizational philosophy of our football, of our Eagles, is that it's just a fine-tuned machine. It keeps coming when you have an offensive line coach like Stoutland down there. I guess you could kind of afford to let a guy like Seumalo go. So after all that craziness, this dude is bipolar. I can see a world, and I can see how it can make sense to the Philadelphia Eagles organizationally to let go of Seumalo, being that you have a guy like Stoutland, is the greatest offensive line coach of all time. Yeah, that might be a little hyperbolic, I don't know, but my favorite offensive line coach of all time, Stout University, you know what I'm saying? So you got him there. You got Cam Jurgens coming up. It'll save us an exponential amount of money. Yeah, we do have the pieces in play, and like you just see it. It's a constant, like, it just rotates. When you think we got to let go of a guy like Halapaloti Vaitai, he goes over, he gets his bag from Detroit, and we just keep rolling a dude like I got my ladder, You just see it time and time again. Guys leave up out of here, and this offensive line just keeps coming back better, faster, stronger, and with one of its best additions last season. Like, that was just amazing. So I say all of that to say I'm riding with my Eagles. Regardless of what they do, just in my heart, man, just to glue. So that's more with my heart than with my brain. That, a reason why I would want to keep a guy like Seumalo and CJGJ, and then you think of a guy like Hargrave and what he presents and what he brings up the middle. But then you think about the dollars that he's going to ask. So I mean, it's not an enviable position that Howie Roseman is in right now. Our boy Howie Potter, our boy How E busting the stupid dope moves is in. Cause sheesh, bro, like you want to keep all these guys, but those three guys in particular, I believe it's going to be hard to juggle and hard to figure out how to get them back. Not to mention this fine-tuned machine that the Eagles are. When you start to think about all of these guys that the Eagles may lose in free agency, those free agents' losses turn themselves into compensatory picks in the draft. So that's just adding more to Howie Toolman's tool belt. Whatever you want to do with it, he could do with it. Turn those compensatory draft picks into other acquisitions. It's just great. Maniac Jr. up in the building. Give me an E-A-G-L-E-S.
E-A-G-L-E-S.
Eagles! I'm going to need a little bit more of we're going to have to work on that cadence, all right, my brother? Who's that, JoJo?
That's Dylan.
Oh, I don't know him. Peace, God. So we got that going on. Yeah, organizationally, I'm just with whatever they're gonna do. And yeah, I get sidetracked, man. Eagle Maniac is back home for a week. Eagle Maniac Jr. Eagle Maniac always been here. Eagle Maniac Jr. is home for a week, so happy to see my boy and all that. About to go get a cut. I need a cut, true. Nah, we're gonna rock this thing out. So yeah, we got that going on. And I want to sign Isaac. And now that I'm thinking about it, feels like a more of an emotional signing on my part than doing it with our brains and what we got. But those compensatory picks can turn into so much more. And just like I said, it's more for Howie Roseman's true belt to go out there, move things around, switch it up, make trades with those for things that you could get this season. Boom, you get more of those. Oh no, wait. Free agency starts. Man, I gotta check the calendar. Free agency starts prior to. So if a lot of these guys get fired, we'll know that we have it for. I don't know how that works. We're gonna have to figure that out in the days going forward, right? So that's the way I see us organizationally, philosophically on the offensive side of the ball, and I broke you down to where I see us going forward on the defensive side of the ball. We just it's the trenches. Bottom line, say less. And we're gonna hop outside of the nest real quick. We're gonna hop even further outside the nest. I like to do a little bit of outside the nest, or sometimes inside the mind of the maniac. We're gonna hop outside of a whole new airspace, whole new airways, a whole different universe from what we normally talk about with football. But it's still gonna come back to the Eagles, as everything does, because we look at the world through eagle-colored glasses. But just a little bit of this Ja Morant thing. I mean, shoot. That's going to get us back to Jalen Carter. It's going to hop us back in. So, Ja Morant, initially, I'm like, I thought it was somebody behind him, because it didn't even look like his hand. Like, number one. Number two, who holds a gun like that? It was weird. And I didn't even think it was him. But then, as I look at the video a little bit more, like, what am I even doing talking about this? It's just something on my head. So, it's just really inside the mind of the maniac, right? So, he's holding a gun. And it's like, well, guns illegal, right? Isn't that what they all hyped up for? NRA, oh, my guns, guns. But then you look at the added component of it. He's in here throwing up gang signs and all that. Like, now you wilding, bro. Like, it's just a little crazy. You're mixing gang signs with holding guns and all the turmoil they has in the past. Not to mention, you're breaking league rules. You're not supposed to be in the possession of a gun while on the road in the NBA. I just found that out this morning. So all that, initially I'm like, like he's a kid, he's young, like relax, cool out. Then you look deeper into it, you're like, yeah, he's got to chill out. And so the reason I bring this up is the real reason I bring this up, because the second I see this, I'm like, for whatever reason, the first thought I had was, thank God for Devontae Smith. And we could have said that about a million guys probably on this team. Guys like, Jalen Hurts, Jalen Hurts, those are the, and you swear we think we know these guys. We really don't know these guys. Just the image that they put forward, the image that they portray, the images that they're giving us is not the image of what Ja Morant is putting out there. You know what I mean? You hear numerous occasions he's got his boys pointing lasers at team buses. Mom calling him up to come fight at the mall. That's not really on him. That's on mom. Like, what the fuck is you doing? This dude is could be the face of a league, man. The future of basketball. Like, what is you doing out here, bro? And I mean, Jay Williams said one of the dopest things this morning. Like, I mean, it's what we're all thinking anyway. Like, yo, bro, like, you doing it for the gram? Like, what is he doing? You think about it. I'm gonna stop right there. On the grounds I may incriminate myself, but yeah, man, it's just it doesn't make any sense. I wish the kid the best going forward, and seeing him, I was just like, thank God for guys like Devontae Smith. This dude just comes in, head down, and just wants to work. It's a Rihanna song. And that spins us into SEC football. SEC into our boy Jalen Carter. You know what I'm saying? I wish Ja Morant nothing but the best. I ain't want to dig in too deep. You know what I'm saying? Just verbally destroy someone for whatever reason. I don't know that man. I don't know what he's going through, but it was just left a bad taste in my mouth. Seeing that is not cool. And like I said, once again, I'm gonna stop right there. I just want to drop that on there. Like, let me know what y'all think about that, and let me know how y'all feel about just being so grateful for dudes like Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith, great young men, great young leaders, great young black men. It needs to be said. You know what I mean? Like, need better examples out there. That's the thing. Like kids are watching this. You know what I mean? You're thinking this is cool, bro. Maybe a bit hypocritical. No, I'm not. Anyway, but because you know how it goes, man. He who lived without sin shall cast the first stone. You think about what you was doing at the age of 23 and this, that, and the third. You probably weren't making the best decision. That's another thing. That is probably the most poignant thing that Jason Williams brought up is the fact that you had a camera running around in front of you, like, and then what Keyshawn said, and Jay Williams said it too. He said exactly like, but bro, he the one that put the camera on himself. You were holding the camera. Like right now, this is hilarious. I feel super icky even talking about this. But that leans us into him. Like I said, wish John Moran nothing but the best. I hope he gets things headed in the right direction. Becomes the star that he's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And that leads us into Jalen Carter, what went on with him off the field, right? And we're back in our universe, we're back in our airspace, we're back in the football. And what this could mean for the Eagles, right? So there was an issue last week. There was a warrant issued for Jalen Carter in relation to that. And this is nothing to laugh at. He was allegedly involved in that tragic accident with the offensive lineman and the young lady from the Georgia Bulldogs. I believe they were the two that died, and someone else was in the accident and survived, right? So the reports are that they was out there racing, and I hopped in and out of this. Like, shoot, this was 4 or 5 days ago, and I believe he did pop up in a pair at the combine and probably answered all these questions. But I'm just giving it to you from the eagle eye, you know what I mean, from the Eagle Maniac eye point of view, and how I see it. People are all up in arms because once again, this is a very, very, very serious thing. Just of the mind state, like the dude's 21 years old. And I feel like an ageist when you're bringing up someone's age in relation to like an atrocity, a tragedy like this. And just my thoughts on the matter that okay, let me look at it like this. So would I say, for instance, if I was on a road racing with my homeboy and I was the past and I was to have thoughts from the grave, like, damn, yo, it's messed up. He was racing with us. He needs to pay for this. Like, what I feel like that, and I know it's my state, my mind state isn't the only thing that matters in this situation, but like, these were young kids. They made a mistake. And I know I've seen it before. I've had friends like, bro, like, yo, we about to go out racing, come up, pull up, like, nah, I'm good. You seem a little inebriated, my guy. Like, you know what I mean? So then there's that added aspect to it too. And from what I understand, he showed no signs. I don't believe he was breathalyzed at the scene at the time because he had pulled up behind. He had lied. He had also lied to law enforcement, which I attribute to being scared and all that. So I wouldn't really put a mark against him for that as far as a mark against his character and racing down a road. I wouldn't really put a big mark on that either. But it's bad nonetheless. Like, I don't know. Like, where do you guys stand on that? It's hard because it's hard to talk about the next thing without traversing through that and getting through that first. Like, how do you really feel about that situation? Like, do you feel the guy's a bad guy? Like a young kid, 21. I mean, once again, he who lived without sin cast the first stone. Like, do you have at the age of 21 had you ever lied to cops at that time of your life? Me myself, no. Like, you're crazy. Like, I am pristine, clean, the picture of perfection. Are you kidding me? Never lied to cops. But you have you 21 years old, little lie to the cops like now, especially when you feel like you may have had nothing to do with because of course, as a kid, you're going to think it's not your fault. And then at the end of the day, I mean, you do have some type of culpability to that. Like, you were part of the party that caused a death, especially if you were the one that, initiated the starting of the race. So, I mean, yeah, something has to be answered for that. The thing, the bottom line is, and we're going to try and tie this up because it's ugly. It's like, it's hard to even, hard to talk about it clearly, as you can see. Like, two people lost their lives at the end of the day, which you have to always be privy of. You always have to keep that in your peripheral when speaking on someone else, on a situation like this. Or you could just not speak on someone else's situation, right? But that's not what we do. This is what we do here. We flock up, we throw things in the flock pot, cook it up, throw it on the table and see, you know what I'm saying? Consume it as we deem fit, right? So you got that going on. Yeah. It's icky, it's sticky, and albeit you can, because I mean it wouldn't come up as vehicular homicide. I believe, the most he could get is a year. These are two misdemeanors. So that's something that the team would, and like I said, this feels icky getting into, but we do talk about football here. We do talk about the Eagles, and we're going to talk about how this can affect the Eagles. So this dude was projected to go first. I'm still seeing it even today. They still got anywhere from first to third is what I'm seeing him on all the projections I see. First to fourth, he's either first pick, second pick, third pick, and fourth pick. So, and I'm not seeing that affect him. Seeing that affect him so far. So. No teams that like a talent like that, sometimes teams are going to look past it. They're going to figure, maybe we could work around this. Or maybe it's nothing at all. Like, again, once again, I said I didn't see what he had to say when he showed up at the combine this weekend. So I can't speak to that yet. But, did you see that? Did you see that? You can't help it, man. The smile comes out. Do you imagine if this guy drops to 10 to the Eagles? Great locker room. Great brace, great stability, good guys around, get him up the right way. Not to mention, he's got his Georgia Bulldog homeboys in there, him, Jordan Davis, and the Kobe Dean. It's gonna be stupid. But that being said, I don't think it's gonna happen, man. Sorry to hop into all that flockery real quick. It feels yuck. We got even a bad taste in my mouth. I'm gonna talk about it. So, into a lighter setting, and to speak on a few lighter things, we're gonna get into a little more flockery. AJ and Juju, man. What y'all think about this, man? AJ had to tell the dude, keep my name out your mouth. Speaking of keep my name out your mouth, man. Y'all saw Chris Rock this weekend? Wow! That was crazy. That was a crazy last 10 minutes. I'll leave that real quick and short, man. For me, that's 2 thumbs up, man. I'm rocking with Chris Rock on this, man. Like, our boy Will, even though I know Willie's from Philly, man. That's our guy. I love Will Smith. Will Smith is the man. Bro, but I mean, the way he put it down, bro, like... Dude, you had the Breakfast Club calling you a B. You had Charlamagne calling you a B. You had this guy, that guy, everybody in the world calling you a B. And you chose to kick, ain't the donkey. You chose to kick the zebra. You chose to smack the zebra, bro. Come on, man. When you think about it like that, that is crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Say, for instance, somebody out there talking trash, you got out there, you got Fletcher Clocks. Everybody out there talking trash about him, right? And he pulls up against the this is in our own locker room, man. He flips out. He just has a flip out on Boston Scott. Like, that would be crazy. You look at him like, what is you doing? But anyway, enough of that. So AJ and Juju puts out this this video. It was different, man. Leave it down in the comments if you know what's going on, man. Help me get through this. I don't like what the flock is going on in that video. The one thing. And I did want to speak on this on multiple occasions this season on What the Flock Wednesdays. It bugged me out, like, what the flock is going on? How come nobody ever bring up the fact that one day AJ would have braids? He'd have full old dog braids straight out of Minister Society. Minister Society? Boys in the Hood? Damn, I'm slipping. I'm slacking on my Mac. Whoa, bro. Old dog braids, Minister Society, right? Straight, like, they were there. Next day at practice, they're gone. A few days later, they're back. I'm like, what the flock is up with that? But I never wanted to talk about another man's personal appearance on What the Flock Wednesdays. It's just not my thing, man. But it always bugged me out. Similar to Nick Sirianni, you see, like, he's a wolf, man. Nick Sirianni is clearly a wolf. He turns into a werewolf on game day on Sunday. He comes back to the press conference on Tuesday. It was Tuesday or Wednesday when he would come back. And the dude would have a full face of hair, like hair all look crazy, completely different person. But I mean, is this a place for that? It's got to be the place. We talk about it, we chop it up on everything over here, right? We throw it in our flock pots, build it up, throw it down, and consume it how we deem fit, right? I like this. We're going to keep this thing going. I like how I'm breaking that down, man. Let me know down in the comments if you feel the same, right? So, that being said, right? I don't know where you see AJ with braids, and I'm just like, no one's saying nothing about this, and maybe I'm bugging. Maybe these are videos from 2 years ago, and I just never decided to dig deep and really sit there and research AJ Brown's braids and the days they were on and the days they were off, even though I did just break down a few days when I saw him on and then off, right? Whatever, you get what I'm saying. So then in this video, Juju, he starts speaking on, He starts speaking on it says something about Beijing. And I'm not too familiar with woman hair products. Oh no, Beijing. That's Beijing. I believe that's the stuff that I heard Charlemagne talk about it all the time. If y'all listen to the Breakfast Club, Charlemagne accuses DJ Envy of using that stuff all the time. Beijing, I believe it's like a hair thing, something filling hair. So that's what I thought it was going because I heard it before I saw it, and they was talking about Beijing. I was like, oh snap, Juju went in there. Is that what he's trying to go at? The thing is, I'm still asking this question though. Is that what Juju was talking about? And when asking the question, when you're the joke, the joke ceases to be effective once you have to explain it, right? I mean, although there is something to be said for intelligent, smart comedy where you're like, oh, you got to dig a little deeper. You know, you watch these rap battles and these dudes with their triple, quadruple entendres and like, oh, there's something that's dope. But on Twitter, I mean, unless, of course, he's really trying to shoot a movie and this is just one scene. Point being, I don't get it, man. And if y'all got it, let me know, man. Because until next time, I got questions, Juju. What you gonna do when AJ runs wild on you, man? Like you don't want to smoke, man. AJ's that dude. You're not in his league, bro. But you know what, TikTok boy? That was funny, though. TikTok has a TikTok baby. It's a TikTok boy. I don't know. You know what? But one thing it is, it proves Juju, he can laugh at himself. You know what I mean? I guess. But he was going a little hard, though. Yeah, I don't get into it because now I'm starting to get upset. We're trying to leave this on a good note, man. Till next time, man. Till next time, man. You know how we do, man. And yeah, I think we got into everything in our vlog pods. We chopped it up. We threw it on the table and you consume it how you deem fit. Woo! I like it. Yeah. I'm gonna write that down. We're gonna keep that as the ending, man. We're gonna get rid of this. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? When Eagle Mania runs wild on you, AJ Brown and our boys and all that, man. So I mean, because yes, that video definitely left me with questions, bro. Like, I don't know what's going on, but that being said, till the next time, make it your best time. In the meantime, between time, keep it a green time. You already know how we do it this time, man. Play my music, Kingster! EAGLES, Eagles! Woo! Happy Eagle Maniac Monday, baby!